Mary by Nat Cassidy. Here we have Mary, a character who has a very troubled past and who is living in solitude at her New York apartment. She also has a job at a bookstore and she's seeing doctors because she's going through perimenopause. One day she gets a call from her Aunt Nadine asking her to come take care of her because Aunt Nadine is dying. Mary reluctantly goes back to Arizona to take care of her aunt, and when she arrives there, she starts having even more weird symptoms. She starts having these weird visions of these women that are presumably dead and they have pillowcases over their heads, and the doctors again just chalk it up to perimenopause. This town used to have a serial killer who targeted middle-aged women. He would brutally disfigure their faces and then put pillowcases over their heads. The day that this serial killer was captured and killed was the day that Mary was born. This one is pretty long. I believe it's like just over 400 pages. And I really loved the first half of the book. I flew through the first half of the book. And then the second half just got like so crazy that I was having a really hard time keeping up with what was going on. So the second half kind of dragged a little bit more for me. I think if the author had carried all of the creepiness and what he was kind of setting up for the first half of the book and just carried that into the second half, I definitely would have enjoyed it more. The creepiness aspect of this one was very well done. The whole story has this feeling of being just dark and dismal. There were some scenes of Mary having visions in this book where I could not look away from the page. I was so sucked in to what was going on, and it was reading to me like a movie, so I really enjoyed that as well. I also might have an unpopular opinion here, but I really liked Aunt Nadine. She was one of my favorite characters. She was just so grotesque and an unpleasant person to be around, but I think that some of her lines were so good and she had me laughing out loud while I was reading this book. She also really plays a big role in setting up the setting for Mary and how being in Arizona is so unsettling for her. I don't know if I already mentioned this, but Mary's parents have passed away, so Aunt Nadine was the one that raised her. This is a book that I read in tandem with the audio, and if you are an audiobook listener or you have a chance to pick up the audiobook, it is fantastically done. I highly recommend the audiobook. Overall, I gave Mary a 4-star rating.